Welcome back to Cultivel Home and Garden. Today's video might be the most important one you watch all year, because somewhere in a garden center near you, there are plants sitting in beautiful pots with glossy labels, and some of them have the potential to crack your foundation, collapse your property value, or put your family in the hospital. I'm not being dramatic. I'm being honest. 10 plants. Let's talk about every single one. A senior horticultural consultant shared this story. A neighbor spent $30 on a single bamboo plant for a privacy screen. 3 seasons later, that $30 plant cost him $4,000 in professional reconstruction fees. $4,000 from one plant. That story is more common than you think, and it starts with that exact bamboo. Plant number 1, running bamboo, specifically the genus Phyllostachys. This is the $4,000 plant. It looks beautiful in the garden center, tall, fast-growing, lush and green. What the label doesn't show you is what's happening underground. Running bamboo spreads via underground torpedoes called leptomorph rhizomes, growing up to 5 meters per year, with enough hydraulic pressure to lift paving stones, puncture pond liners, and push through solid concrete. By the time you see the first green shoot between your patio tiles, the root system has already spread everywhere underneath. Thriving in USDA zones 5 through 10, once established, it is nearly impossible to remove without heavy equipment. The safe swap? Always look for Variegated on the label instead, clumping bamboo that gives you the same beautiful privacy screen without ever threatening your hardscaping. Pro tip, if running bamboo is already in your garden, you need an HDPE root barrier buried at least 60 to 80 centimeters deep around the entire perimeter. Anything shallower and the rhizomes simply grow underneath it. When in doubt, choose Variegated from day one. Plant number 2, cherry laurel, Prunus laurocerasus. Sold everywhere as a cheap, quick-growing hedge, and it does grow quickly, which is exactly the problem. Within a few seasons, you have an unmanageable wall of dark, leathery foliage, demanding trimming twice a year. But the real issue is ecology. This plant is what horticulturalists call a green desert. Native insects cannot use the leathery leaves. Birds rarely nest inside it. Its berries are toxic to most wildlife, and birds that do eat those berries spread the seeds into local woodlands where cherry laurel smothers native undergrowth. The biosecurity concern is so serious that Switzerland officially banned its sale in 2024. In USDA zones 6 through 9, it spreads aggressively once it escapes cultivation. The safe swap? Taxus is a genuine 100-year plant, bird-friendly and infinitely more manageable. Or for wildlife value, hornbeam, Carpinus betalus, provides real habitat and beautiful winter texture. Pro tip, if you're inheriting a cherry laurel hedge, honestly assess whether complete removal is the better long-term investment. The labor of maintaining it year after year will eventually cost more than a one-time replacement with a better species. Plant number 3, Japanese knotweed, Nutria japonica. This is the only plant on this list that can literally stop a real estate transaction. In the United Kingdom, banks routinely refuse home loans if knotweed is found on a property. In the United States, it is listed as an invasive species in nearly every state east of the Mississippi. The roots reach 3 meters deep and spread 7 meters laterally, exploiting every microscopic crack in foundations and sewage pipes. Even more terrifying, a root fragment the size of a thumbnail can regenerate into a full colony. In USDA zones 3 through 9, this plant establishes in almost any soil and is extraordinarily difficult to eradicate, even with professional herbicide treatment. Never shred it, never compost it. All biological material must go exclusively into non-recyclable household waste. Pro tip, before buying any property, do
do a perimeter walk and look for knotweed, a bamboo-like shrub with heart-shaped leaves and cream-colored flowers in late summer. Catching it before the sale saves enormous legal, financial, and physical pain. If found on your land, report it to your local agricultural exchange office immediately.
Plant number 4, goji berry, Lycium barbarum. The superfood marketing around goji berry is one of the more effective deceptions in recent gardening history. It's positioned as a health miracle, easy to grow, incredibly productive. The reality in a domestic garden is a sparse, thorny shrub that takes years to produce meaningful fruit. And when it does, the fresh berries are often so bitter they're barely edible raw. They only become palatable after drying. While it underdelivers above ground, in USDA zones 5 through 9, it sends underground runners beneath fences, through lawn edging, and into neighboring beds, behaving like a slow-motion version of the sumac problem we'll cover shortly. The safe swap? Aronia, chokeberry, a genuine high antioxidant superfood, manageable and well-behaved with spectacular crimson fall color and zero invasive tendencies. Pro tip: if you love goji berry and want to grow it anyway, only ever plant it in a large raised bed with solid sides extending at least 12 inches into the ground to block runner escape. That is the only way to enjoy the harvest without the invasion.
Plant number 5, Jerusalem artichoke, Helianthus tuberosus. This one traps gardeners in a specific, cruel way, because the flowers are genuinely beautiful and the tubers are actually delicious. So people plant them in their vegetable garden thinking they're making a smart, productive choice. Then year 3 arrives and their entire vegetable bed has become a monoculture of Jerusalem artichoke. The reason is devastating. Any fragment of tuber left in the soil, even a piece the size of a fingernail, regenerates into a full-sized plant the following season. You can harvest obsessively and still miss pieces. In USDA zones 3 through 9, once it's in open soil, this plant is essentially permanent. The professional solution? Only ever grow Jerusalem artichoke in a large, deep container with a solid base. That is the only reliable way to enjoy the harvest without surrendering the entire garden. Pro tip: before planting Jerusalem artichoke anywhere in open soil, ask yourself one honest question. Am I willing to dedicate this entire bed to this plant permanently? If the answer is anything other than yes, use a container. Every single time.
Plant number 6, Staghorn sumac, Rus typhina. The autumn color on this plant is genuinely spectacular. Brilliant scarlet, velvety textured branches, photographs like something from a professional garden magazine. That's exactly what gets people. They buy it for the fall show, and by year 3, they have a forest. Staghorn sumac spreads via underground suckers, appearing up to 8 meters from the parent plant. The instinct is to mow them down, but this triggers what's called loss of apical dominance. The root system perceives the cut as a threat and responds by sending up dozens more shoots. In USDA zones 3 through 8, you are not solving the problem when you cut it. You are multiplying it. The safe swap? Serviceberry, Amelanchier. Same stunning autumn color, beautiful white spring blossoms, bird-attracting berries, and it stays exactly where you put it. No suckers, no surprises. Pro tip: if sumac is already established, stop mowing the suckers immediately. Apply a systemic herbicide directly to freshly cut stump surfaces in late summer when the plant is moving sugars downward into the root system. That is the most effective window for control. Always consult a professional for large, established plants. Plant number 7, English ivy, Heterohelix. This one requires nuance. Context is everything.
On a mature tree, ivy is a genuine ecological treasure. But on the wall of a house, that is a completely different conversation. English ivy produces adhesive rootlets that find every microscopic crack in masonry, stucco, wooden siding, and painted walls, prying them open as they grow. Moisture penetrates, structural damage follows, and when you eventually remove the ivy, it leaves behind permanent root traces embedded in the surface, damage that is nearly impossible to sand or paint over. In USDA zones 5 through 11, it is also classified as invasive in many states, particularly in the Pacific Northwest and Southeast, where it escapes and smothers native forest understory. The safe swap? Mount a trellis 10 centimeters away from the wall and grow clematis or climbing hydrangea instead. The look is just as beautiful, and the damage to your building is zero. Pro tip: if you're renting a home with ivy growing on the walls, photograph the wall surface before you move in and document any existing damage at the start of your tenancy. Ivy on a structure can create liability questions worth being proactive about. Plant number 8, variegated ground elder, Agapodium podagraria variegatum. This one is particularly cynical. It's marketed as the solution to one of gardening's hardest problems: dry, shady spots where nothing else grows. It's sold with a pretty white-edged leaf, positioned as an ornamental ground cover, priced at just a few dollars. What the label omits is that this is simply bishop's weed, one of the most notoriously difficult garden weeds in existence, wearing a variegated costume. After a few seasons, the plant frequently reverts to its solid green invasive form. You have paid money to deliberately infest your own soil with a plant that spreads via a near indestructible root network that breaks apart during digging and regenerates from every single fragment. In USDA zones 3 through 9, complete eradication often requires 2 full growing seasons of sustained effort. The safe swap? Balkan cranesbill, Geranium macrorhizum. Covers difficult shady spots beautifully, stays within its boundaries, and will not take over your garden. Pro tip: if variegated ground elder is already in your garden, the most effective removal method is smothering. Thick cardboard topped with at least 6 inches of wood chip mulch maintained for 2 full growing seasons. It starves the root system without spreading fragments the way digging does. Plant number 9, giant hogweed, Heracleum mantegasianum. Every other plant on this list threatens your property or your wallet. This one threatens your body. Giant hogweed grows up to 4 meters tall, with dramatic white flower heads the size of dinner plates. It looks like something from a botanical garden, which is why people occasionally plant it for dramatic effect. Do not. Its sap contains compounds called furanocoumarins. If the sap contacts your skin and is then exposed to sunlight, it triggers a severe phototoxic reaction: chemical burns, deep blistering, scarring that takes months to heal. The danger to children is particularly acute because the hollow stems look exactly like natural telescopes or pea shooters. Children have been hospitalized with serious burns from playing with them. In USDA zones 3 through 9, it is classified as a federal noxious weed, and its sale or distribution is prohibited across the United States.
Removal protocol: full protective clothing, heavy gloves, eye protection, overcast day only. Then contact your local agricultural extension office for complete eradication guidance. Pro tip: do not touch any large white-flowered plant to check if it might be giant hogweed. Photograph it from a safe distance and submit the photo to your state's invasive species reporting program for identification first. Never get close until you are absolutely certain what you are dealing with.
Plant number 10, Chinese wisteria, Wisteria sinensis. And we're closing with arguably the most beautiful plant on this entire list, which makes it one of the most dangerous. Those cascading purple flower clusters in May are absolutely breathtaking. But wisteria is not a vine. It is a woody, semi-permanent structural force that grows up to 10 inches per year and generates enough tensile strength to collapse pergolas, pry open gutters, lift roof tiles, and strangle mature trees over time. In USDA zones 5 through 9, Chinese and Japanese wisteria are classified as invasive species across much of the southeast and Pacific Northwest, self-seeding into woodlands and smothering native vegetation. What starts as a charming accent plant becomes a building-scale problem that requires annual aggressive pruning just to keep it from dismantling whatever it's growing on.
The safe swap, American wisteria, Wisteria frutescens, particularly the variety Amethyst Falls, delivers the same stunning flower display, behaves in a fraction of the size, and is a well-mannered native that will not threaten your structure or your neighbor's woodland. Pro tip: if you are committed to growing Chinese wisteria, it must be trained on a purpose-built steel or heavy timber structure. Never on a wooden fence, a pergola with lightweight posts, or directly on a building. Prune twice a year without exception. Once in July after flowering, and again in February before growth begins. Miss one season, and it will remind you who is actually in charge.
Before we close, a quick decoder for plant label language, because the warning is often already there if you know how to read it. Vigorous, or spreads freely, means this plant does not respect boundaries. Spreads quickly is not a convenience feature, it is a containment warning. And root barrier recommended is the manufacturer's admission that this plant needs to be physically imprisoned to behave. 30 seconds on a search engine with the botanical name and the word invasive can save you thousands of dollars and years of back-breaking work.
10 plants. Some will cost you money, some will cost you years of labor. One of them could cost you your health. The good news? Every single one has a beautiful, well-behaved alternative that delivers the same look without the consequences. Choose the alternative. Your garden and your bank account will thank you. Subscribe to Cultivel Home and Garden for new videos every week, and share this one with anyone you know who's about to head to the garden center. It might just save them from a very expensive mistake.